Grant with the HotSpark show. And yes, it's just me. I'm riding alone today, and I have to apologize on Nicole's behalf. She had to last minute take another appointment. She cannot be here. She asked me to apologize to Chris, the Florida Bushman. And we're super pumped to have the Bushman. And for those of you who don't know the Florida Bushman or Chris Hunt, he is the man behind the bush. And when I when I asked some of my people, hey, do you know the Florida Bushman? They're like, does he do hunting? And I was like, no. And they're like, does he live in the wild and does content about living in the wild? I was like, no. So we're going to show you from the prank world, the Florida Bushman. He's a Lakeland native. Chris started doing YouTube videos to bring smiles and laughter into people's lives. And he's going to share his story with us a bit on how the bush came to be and his future aspirations as a content creator and some of his pranks that have done so well to bring people smile and laughter and joy and why he cares about that. He shared a little bit with his story, shared a little bit of his story with me at our HotMod influencer networking event last month, and I cannot wait to bring that story to you. So let's bring him up. Chris Hunt, good afternoon.
What's up, guys?
How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
Well, thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Super pumped to have you. So real quick, for the viewing audience, they just need to know, what is the Florida Bushman, first and foremost. So is it okay if I just bring your screen up?
Yeah.
And for those who don't know, this is the Florida Bushman. Now, what was this particular reel? Do people actually just push you and shove you over?
That guy just got startled.
Yeah.
This guy doesn't even know I'm there.
Oh my gosh. And he's just littering. He's just littering.
Yeah, he did. He tried to shove a Gatorade bottle.
Oh, she knew what was going on.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's too funny. So when you're in the potted plant, I mean, are you kind of like off balance like that? I mean, is that how?
So like, I think the second video I had one of my legs out.
Okay.
And that's kind of to keep balance because we sit on the back of the pot, the flower pot.
Okay.
And it's really not stable. So
Okay. So the Florida Bushman, for those who might watch this later, is a prank you do where you dress up like a bush and just scare people and make them laugh. And this is blown up. For those who don't know, I mean, you have almost 170,000 followers on Instagram. Is that correct? Am I off there?
171 I hit last night.
171. And then like throughout all of your socials, you're about what, you think?
So I have them all written down. So on Instagram, it's 171. I have two Facebook pages. One just hit 300,000.
What?
The other one is at 475,000.
Okay.
The big thing, it's hard to get subscribers on YouTube. That's the hardest social platform to get subscribers. I just hit 250,000 yesterday. So that was a big goal.
That is huge.
Yeah, that's huge. And then TikTok, I have 114,000.
Now, so oftentimes when we talk to influencers, there's one or two particular moments or a particular video that takes off. Was it like that for you? Was there a particular breakaway moment?
So when I first started, there was only me and one other guy doing it. So to me, any video that I uploaded would take off, Yeah. There was, I think, WrestleMania. It was in Orlando. That's the first video I hit 1 million on YouTube, because that's where I started uploading content. When I first started was YouTube.
Okay.
I started all the other social medias, but YouTube was my main focus.
That was your big one.
Yeah, the main one. I guess WrestleMania. I don't remember what year it was.
I mean, and you just dressed up like a bush just outside, and like in the shot, they could see that it was WrestleMania.
Yeah. Like I did an intro of WrestleMania, and the people, their wardrobe, their shirts and stuff. Some people had wrestling belts on, and it was at Camping World Stadium. So that was
okay. Camping World Stadium. Now, where is that?
Orlando.
Okay, that's the Orlando's. Oh yes, duh. Okay, I apologize. Got it. Wow. So that was your first million view reel or video.
Video.
Now, is all your stuff short form?
No, no. So on YouTube, it's long form. Um,
Really? Like, are
yeah.
you messing with shorts at all?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh
How are
yeah.
they performing for you?
So it varies. So I
Okay.
have what I call buckets.
Okay.
So you make a category. Of like best female, best male scares. I did one with dogs, scaring dogs. So you just try different stuff and see what works. And
What?
yeah.
Trying
Well,
to
the
scare.
shorts on YouTube have increased my subscriber count in the last 6 months. So
They're favoring that in a big way.
yeah,
Now, before we go too much further with some of the nuances of being an influencer and what platforms work, let's go back a little bit. You shared a bit of your story with me on what led you to begin focusing on humor. And that goes back a ways since you were a kid.
yeah.
So give us some backdrop. Like, what is the origin story of Chris the Florida Bushman Hunt?
So when I was born with a hole in my heart. Um, so that was in 1990. Long
A
35.
baby. You're a baby.
Yeah. So I had a hole in my heart, congestive heart failure, right out of the womb. Um, so they were gonna try and wait till I was 2 to fix the hole and patch it, but since my health was so bad, they did it at 11 months old,
Wow.
and planted a pacemaker. So I've had a pacemaker my whole life. Um,
Wow.
and then when I was 2, I got diagnosed with leukemia. So I had 36 months of chemo.
36 months. So otherwise, people know that as
3
years
years. Yeah,
of
3 years.
chemo.
Yeah, 3 years of
Dang.
chemo. Yeah.
Man.
Luckily, I was so young, I don't remember any of that, the
Sure.
chemo and going through that stuff. The heart issues of they're going to be there my whole life. So
Yeah.
um, I've had three valve replacements.
Really?
Um, yeah, so they go in and cut your chest open and put it's a fake valve is what it is. They use a cow valve out of a cow or a pig,
What?
and I've had both of them. So I think currently I
Really?
have a cow valve. So
Currently, so you're definitely like part human, part cow, part bush.
yeah,
Yeah, part shrubbery. So how did this parlay into humor? So this was a really tough childhood,
yeah.
right?
So spent a lot of time in the hospital. I was in all children's in St. Pete. So I try to make people laugh. Back then, I would share rooms with other kids and then have families come see them, and just try to make humor out of anything, and make the nurses laugh, make the other kids laugh. Just bring,
Yeah.
smile and laughter is my motto. Smile and laughter saves lives, and saved my life for sure. So I saw the bush one time on YouTube, and I'm like, well, let me do that and bring laughter and smile to Florida because that's where we are, and it just took off. So
I
now
mean, when you say took off, like had you tried content before the Bushman?
nope,
Really?
nope.
And so your first attempt was the Florida Bushman. Now, what's this like? So a lot of times content creators, they don't do content. They might watch and binge prank channels, but when a push comes to shove, they get really self-conscious about, is someone going to punch me or say something or do something weird? Like, did you ever have those butterflies?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, I still get nervous because you never know um, the scenario you're going to be put in.
Yeah.
We've been put in crazy scenarios. I'm trying not to share this story, but we scared somebody that committed a murder like a few hours later. Like
What?
right the store right behind where we were pranking at. Yeah, it was last summer. We scared a guy, and then that night he killed somebody in the store right
What?
behind us. Yeah. So I've the video you showed, I've been pushed, punched.
Yeah.
It's part of the job.
And like when they have these initial reactions, like, do you kind of have your shtick on how you calm the situation down and
Yeah. So
like what works?
I try to de-escalate everything. Like
Yeah.
de-escalate, de-escalate, de-escalate. I worked at Disney, and
Yeah.
before I did this, and like I was like a leader, coordinator. So you try to de-escalate everything. I try to take what I learned in my previous jobs and turning in this job, and it's like, you know, we're trying out here trying to make people laugh and smile. If you get
Yeah.
upset, I understand everybody's not gonna like it, but
Yeah.
let's just have a better day. Like, so
Yes.
I just try to. Sorry, I won't put your video on social media if you don't want me to. Like, just communicate with me, and I'll communicate with you. So
Yeah, man. And so, what? So, did you give me a date? What was the first scare? The first Florida Bushman scare?
yeah.
What day? What date
So
was this?
I bought the ghillie suit off Amazon,
Yeah.
and I
That's all it is?
yeah, it's just a ghillie suit. Yeah, off Amazon. You can buy them like $50 on Amazon,
You didn't
and
doctor it up. You didn't add extra ivy to it and stuff.
I do now, but not back then. Yeah, if you go
Okay.
back and watch my old videos,
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a ghillie suit, just no leaves, no nothing else. So
That's funny.
yeah, and it worked. It worked, but my wife was coming home from work, and I just set up on our carport and waited there for 30 minutes.
Oh, you scared your wife? She was the first one?
Yeah, she was the first one.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Do you have that one pinned? Is that pinned somewhere?
No, she asked me to take it down.
Oh, she didn't want to be
Yeah,
okay. Yeah, she don't want to be
yeah.
targeted. I got it. And so when was that?
2015.
Oh my gosh. Wait, you've been doing Florida Bushman for almost 10 years?
Yeah,
9 years. Now, okay, having done it this long, have you thought about trademarking?
I have, but I just never looked into it.
No. And so, like, you told me at this event, you're a full-time creator.
Correct.
And so when people say that, sometimes they're full-time because like it just takes that much time. Sometimes they do it because they've been able to turn a profit at it. I mean, without getting into specifics, are you full-time because financially YouTube or AdSense or one of these programs were able to actually support you?
Yeah. So, well, I worked at Disney
Yep.
when we got the pandemic happened. You know, they shut down, and the Facebook Reels
Yeah.
bonus came out, and
The first round was a good one, right?
I jumped on that. Like I was like, I think I was in the first 1,000 people to get it.
Oh.
Yeah, and I was after they opened up the beaches and stuff. We went down to Miami and videoed there for a week, and I just started putting out reels after reels.
Oh, wow.
We were uploading, I think, 136 short content a month. Like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah, like
3 a day.
3 a day. Yeah, 3 a day
Holy cow.
on like four different platforms. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's not a lot. Real quick, DJ Joe Mini Carter says, I see two of my good friends killing it. You guys rock. Good to see you, DJ Joe Mini. So you went down to and that Miami trip, that must have been a huge inflection point for you.
Yeah. It was different.
Oh,
it was a different culture, like
oh, yeah.
yeah.
You don't spend a lot of time at the beach in Miami, huh?
No.
You Mr. Central Florida over here.
Yeah.
So you had a tough childhood. You ended up in the hospital. You started to try to find ways to make people laugh. Obviously, Florida Bushman didn't come along till much later. What were ways that you sought to bring smiles and laughter to people in the early days?
Just being funny, just making funny jokes, and just
Sure.
doing other like prank stuff.
Yeah.
So story, lived with one of my friends, and he got a toolbox
Okay.
for his truck for Christmas, and they
Okay.
were bringing home groceries, and the toolbox we hadn't installed in his truck; it was in his house. So they're bringing home groceries. I'm like, I don't feel like putting groceries up, so I crawled inside the toolbox and shut the lid and hid there, so I didn't have to do the chores around the house. But then that turned into one of my first videos I ever filmed. We installed it and then put Visqueen in the toolbox and turned it into a bathtub.
Oh my gosh.
And we installed a speaker on the outside of his truck, and we drove around Lakeland. And I was in the toolbox taking a bath. And
Oh my gosh. And this was not for content. You were not doing this for video at the
back
time.
in like 2010.
You were just doing this to make people laugh.
Yeah, just make people laugh.
Chris.
When people would pull up, when we would stop at a red light, I would have like a the one back scratcher thing that you
Yes.
and I fling the water on their car.
Oh my goodness. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
And so like, okay, so you had to have started to get a kick out of YouTube. When did they launch in general? I mean, it was like
Hey,
2008?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so YouTube was 2008. So were you watching prank stuff and,
Oh
and
yeah.
fun stuff just for the
Yeah.
heck of it? But you didn't think back then, I'm gonna create my own YouTube channel. You're just out there making people laugh.
Yeah.
Holy cow. Now, were you doing anything on the entertainment side at Disney when you worked for Disney? No.
No, I worked at Space Mountain. I worked in Tomorrowland for 10 years. An
10
attraction.
years.
Yeah, 10 years.
And then you started roughly, I think you said 2007, 15 as
Yeah.
Bushman. When did that started to go full time for you?
The pandemic. Like,
Oh, you said that. Okay,
yeah.
yeah.
I mean, I was doing it, from 2015 on and off.
Just for the fun of it.
Just, I mean, I was making decent money,
Okay.
but with the health stuff, I wanted to keep my insurance, and
Yeah.
Disney has good insurance, so that's why I worked at Disney for a while, was for the
Yeah.
insurance, and then I did the Bushman on the weekends. So
Yeah, man. And so like, do you just go all over Florida or just the major cities? Like what's your strategy on
so
like how you pick a place?
I try to keep it safe, for
Okay.
me, for my team, my camera guys. I look for like sports events.
Okay.
Clearwater Beach is one of my favorite spots now. St. Augustine is it's always popular, so I just look for somewhere that's has a lot of people for
Yeah.
like a week or a month or whatever. And then, but like the sports events, because you can't take weapons inside the stadium because they'll check you.
Yeah.
So then I know there's not going to be any weapons to be used on me.
Yeah, yeah. As I scare the crap out of people. So has this been fulfilling?
Oh yeah, yeah. I get emails, DMs, messages all the time. Like, hey, like you brought me out of my dark place. It's doing what I wanted to do. There's a guy who was battling cancer, and and I know that feeling because I battled
Yeah.
cancer before. And he's like, when I'm sitting there taking my chemo, we watch your videos. You know,
Really?
so yeah.
Get out of here. So, I mean, I know that you just launched another Instagram handle, and this
Yes.
was, forgive me, what's the handle's name?
Bold Adventurers.
Bold Adventurers. What is your vision for that channel?
More family. Because the Bushman isn't really family friendly. I'm gonna try and turn it into that now. I'm gonna try and take
Sure.
out a lot of the profanity and like doing more interactions with the people when I'm out there
Okay.
videoing. But it's gonna have my kids, my wife. We're gonna go out and do fun adventures, and,
Okay.
and just post it and make a brand out of it.
So, are you finding it as easy? Does it come to you as naturally? Not
Yeah.
easy. None of it's easy. Does it come to you as naturally, that style of
It's
content?
if you go back on my Bushman channel,
Yeah.
so I did a couple Bushman pranks before, and then I
Okay.
did like 2 years of vlogging.
Oh.
They're horrible. They're on there, but they're horrible.
Yeah, yeah. You
But
gotta leave it up. You gotta leave
you
it up.
you have to learn, and I've learned.
Yeah.
So it's more easy now
Mhm.
than if I just started, in 2015.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
was working on Windows Media Maker back in 2015.
Oh my god.
With just one
I
edit
haven't even
line.
heard I
You
haven't
know,
even heard of that in 10 years. I
yeah,
mean, that's what we started with too, but I'm sitting here going, "Oh my god, dude.
yeah.
That's wild." So now is most of your revenue, is it all ad revenue, or are you doing collab deals or paid deals at all?
I would love to do collab deals, but I've done a couple. I think I've done like 3 or 4
Okay.
in my whole like Bushman career.
Yeah.
I would love to do more, but I haven't done so. Right now, it's all mostly AdSense.
Okay. And how has AdSense been for you? I know sometimes the algorithm could change or the whole thing could shift at a
Yeah,
dime.
it's up and down, and each platform is different.
Yeah.
Um, I just got off demonetization on TikTok. Like when we met at the influencer meetup, I was
Yeah.
demonetized on TikTok. Um, I was
Yeah.
trying to open a TikTok shop, and you can't do that when you're demonetized and stuff like that. So I tell people going into this, if you're doing it for the AdSense to help out, like just always have, don't put your egg in one social media platform. Always have different ones going on, because
Oh yeah.
I've been demonetized on Facebook a lot, and it's just like the algorithm just doesn't like. I don't know.
Something's not
Something
right.
doesn't like. Yeah,
Do you ever have clarity when you get demonetized?
yeah.
Like,
So it's gotten better over time.
yeah,
So I didn't kind of understand the TikTok one, so I
sure.
just deleted the video. Like, oh, I'll delete the video, it'll be fixed. But then I didn't challenge it, or like ask him to look
Yeah.
at it.
Or
So then
appeal or whatever it is.
appeal is the word I was looking for. Yeah. So they just demonetized me for 3 months. So um,
That's wild. Before Nicole and I kind of put our companies together, we have a website company. We still have a website company. And I can't tell people enough. They think I'm just trying to sell them a website, and I'm always trying to sell a website. When I tell them, you got to be in control of your own web presence, because you don't have to plan on if you're a nobody. You have to plan on if you're successful. And if you're successful and you lean too heavily on any one platform, they literally could switch you off.
oh,
And I know more anecdotes than I care to know about people who suddenly the platform, the algo, something just doesn't like it, and trying to find a real helpful customer service person to go, no, what is the community guideline? I'll just take care of it, and they can't tell you. No one knows. So you're just kind of at their whim. So like you said, you had a team, and I'm curious about this. Who's your team? How big's your team?
so we were getting the Facebook Reels, like that first big bonus thing. I had a full time employee. He was my best friend. He edited for me.
Really?
I bought him a bush, so we would switch out. So he would be in the bush suit sometimes. Because when I go out, I really only try to go out, like, I'll do weekends now, but since I'm full time,
Yeah.
I'll go out for like a week. So I'm in my camper right now. So I'll take the camper and go to Clearwater or go to St. Augustine, and I'll
Okay.
film for the whole week without giving me 2 or 3 months of footage. I
Wow.
can just reuse. Um,
Oh,
so
wow. Wow.
so I had him full time, and then I brought on his nephew to help out. So then we had two teams, because I had my niece would help me out filming, and then I put him and his nephew somewhere else. So we have two Bushmen in the same spot,
Oh,
and just
wow.
so we would make double the content.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. Dude, and so that's a lot of content. Now, how does your long form work? Because your gags, your pranks are usually far smaller. They lean themselves to short form. So how do you assemble this? What is the story on a long form piece of content?
if you go back,
Yeah.
November of 2020, is it 22? 22. I went to Texas and
Okay.
filmed with the Texas Bushman. Now, this guy
Okay.
came in like 2 years ago, and he changed my whole look on how I put videos together. We
Okay.
sat in a fast food restaurant and just talked analytics for 2 hours.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and he went through my videos and told me I wouldn't use this, I wouldn't use this. So long form, because that's what he's mostly on, is YouTube also. That's what
Okay.
the long form is. I do upload long form on Facebook also,
Yeah.
and I advise people to do that, because
Yeah.
Facebook is the number one or two AdSense revenue I make. And you just you go out and film, let's say, from 8 hours.
Okay.
From an 8 hour day, I may get a 15-minute video, because
Okay.
I'm just gonna choose the best of the best of the best scares. Like
Okay.
like I'll scare you and you may scream, but to me, that's not quality enough to put out there for my viewers. So
Really?
yeah. Then before I sat down with Joe in Texas, I was putting out mediocre scares. And you can go to my YouTube and you can tell the views have changed since The video with him, the past was lower, and
Interesting.
yeah, it,
Interesting. So that raises a good question. You know, in the content game, not just the influencer game, but in the content creator game, whether you're a persona like you are with the Florida Bushman, or whether you're a small business owner, the question always is like, I've got to put out quality only. And I challenge people. I say, yes. How do you know what quality is? And they say, I don't know. I just have a sense. It's like, I don't think you can know quality until you've done quantity. Now, I mean, you're nodding yes. Do you tend to agree with that sentiment?
yeah. I mean, when you're first starting out, you have to click that publish button. You have to see what works. You have to do your tests. I have a rule. I'll do something if I want to try something. I do it for 8 videos, and then they'll give me feedback if it
Okay.
works. I read the comments. I go through the analytics, see if they like it. If there's a drop off.
Yeah.
You just have to, but you have to make content to learn, to adjust, see
Yes.
what's working.
Yeah.
So
So, and then that leads me to another thought that Nicole and I always try to ask, and that is finding your voice through content. And I've said several times in the last few days, we were at the RV Creating Yet conference on Tuesday. Yesterday, we were at a co-working space, lunch and learn about finding voice and brand through influencer work. And I've been saying this all over, and that is, I love content creators because I think that they're more on a journey of finding themselves than others. And the main reason being is when you have to find your voice in content, or you see your content out there and you have to ask, is this really me? With pranks and such a clear persona and its jokes, do you ever have like the question when you put up a piece like, is this me or is this not me? Or are you only asking, is this funny? Are you having any sort of journey of finding your voice through this?
yeah, like it's like a different person when I put that mask on.
Really?
Yeah, it's like
How do you
I'm
mean?
Chris, and then I'm a Florida Bushman. Because if I'm walking down the road, somebody's not gonna come up and want to take a picture of me.
Yeah.
But when I put that mask on, oh, I watch you on YouTube. I watch you on, so it's a brand. Like
They don't even recognize Chris Hunt at all.
sometimes they do if I wear like the T-shirt or the merchandise. They'll
Yeah.
recognize. They'll put two and two together. And I just started making merchandise, and like they'll look at me and they'll look at the shirt, and I'm like, I know what you're thinking. So,
That's
but yeah,
funny.
it's two different
Yeah.
worlds. The man behind the bush, I guess
Yeah.
is the thing. Um, but yeah, it's like I don't know. Sometimes I'll do something and like I'll get up and dance.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't do that outside the suit. I don't know.
No. No.
No, yeah, I don't know.
So I mean, do you think you're finding yourself when you do one of these moments? Like you're the Florida Bushman, you put on the bush suit, you go out there and dance, you wouldn't dance normally. Which is the real you? You know?
I would say both.
Okay.
I say I wouldn't dance, but if you put me in the right atmosphere and the right
Yeah.
people surrounding me, I'd probably dance without the suit on.
Sure.
And just the atmosphere.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
the atmosphere. That's interesting. And so, yeah, I mean, as it comes to like influencer work, actually doing something like the Florida Bushman, proportionately to other types of content, it kind of is unique where you are going in as someone else entirely.
mhm.
And so, this idea of finding your voice, it might be finding another outlet, but would you say it's not really finding your voice? It's just finding another outlet because it's almost like a comedic routine.
Yeah, I mean it's my life. Like I wake up at 5:30 in the morning. I go to my office. I work till the kids wake up. Like it's all I do.
What
Um,
is some of that work? Like, what are you working at?
all the content, posting, making shorts, making for a long term video. That'll take me 2 or 3 days to
Really?
the editing and yeah. And I try to make something different in every video. Looking at the analytics, looking at my intro to see what intro worked in the past that I could input in this video, and just a lot
Interesting.
that goes into it.
So what have you found? What are some of those rules of thumb you found for your long form content that like you just know statistically they work better?
So in the past, my audience is males,
Okay.
more than females, 45 to like 80.
Okay.
Well, I had the
So more.
bloomers.
Yeah.
So in the past, I'm like, oh, would I like to see females being scared? But in the last couple of years, they've been liking males being scared. So now I know when I go out, I can scare more males than females. So now I look
Interesting.
for good, and it puts me in that persona out there in the suits. Like, is this going to be a good reaction? Like, this guy's buff. Like, is he going to hit me? Like, be ready, defend yourself,
Yeah.
get a good scare, and then that'll make good content for the viewer. So
Yeah.
that's what I do.
Now, you have a very respectable reach, a very respectable platform. One, actually, you're among some of the top, I think, 3 to 5, just in terms of sheer numbers. And I assume that your watch time is a little longer on average compared to other people because people want to see the full prank.
Yeah.
Um, what has been the biggest, with someone with the size platform you have you been surprised at all by any of the challenges you've had?
Yeah. So talking about watch time, like I'll make a 15-minute video and they'll watch 8 minutes of it. Like why are they dropping off, there? Like putting good content out, making good quality. I don't know. It's just going back to the analytics and trying to figure out what works, what doesn't work, what platform to post it on. As I said before, do Facebook. I'll give you a little secret. Instead of posting your videos as reels, make them in the phone platform, but post them as videos. Don't post them as a reel. Post it as a video. Um,
What's they just perform better in the algorithm?
to me, they're doing amazing, and it's only like a minute and a half. And 2 days, I have one that hit 1 million views.
Really?
Yeah, and I've noticed this does better than this on
Vertical.
on vertical. Yeah,
Oh yeah, and it's funny that TikTok's moving to horizontal, and or preferring horizontal in its algorithm for now. But the verticals obviously still perform a lot better in general, even though the algorithm's preferring it or serving it up. People seem to really like the vertical, but that's wild. I've never heard that. And they're just two different algorithms, is what you're saying,
yeah.
right?
Because on Facebook, you have to make a video longer than 1 minute to get the ad to pop up. But so if you make
Oh.
your vertical video as a video, not a reel, make it over 1 minute, and then they'll get the ad. And
Oh, so milking the ad side, so 1 million views. Like, can I get an idea? Like, when you get a video that goes to about 1 million views, or when you get 1 million views for a particular pay period, what's that payout like? Just generally.
so it all depends what platform.
Yep.
So on Facebook, making the vertical thing. So a minute and 8 seconds. My average view time is around 55 seconds.
Wow.
So that's pretty good.
Wow.
That's pretty good for
That's
that.
really good. Yeah.
Yeah, for that type of video. I'd say in the 2 days I made between $200 to $300 off that one video.
Go, buddy, go. All right.
And then I
Jeez.
upload the same video, just switch it around and I upload it on Instagram.
Okay.
And it gets me about $100. So there's one on there, it's like 6.6 million. I've never looked at Instagram as a platform to make money on.
Okay.
But I'm going to now because it's taking off. I got 11,000 subscribers in 28 days on Instagram. So
Wow.
it's
Wow.
taking off right now. So,
Wow, man. So, okay, as we're approaching kind of the time we agreed on, 30 minutes, give you that much time.
yeah.
What are some tips you have for someone starting out as a creator?
As somebody who looks at everybody's channel and follows people like you, coaches and people to help me out, don't be afraid to hit the submit button.
Oh,
Post it. If you're gonna learn, learn something from each video and make each video better. But don't be afraid to post. on any platform. Just make content, learn who your viewer is, make content for the viewer, um, not for yourself. If you're going in it as a content creator and as a brand, because that's how you make money, is your
Mm,
viewer. But just learn, have fun with it. Don't find a niche that you're just doing for the money. Find something that you enjoy. You're having fun,
mm.
but enjoy it. Don't be afraid to post, learn, adjust, and yeah, just have fun.
Just have fun. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Where can people follow you? I've got some of your socials here. You
Yeah,
shared them
so
with
I
me.
send you a link tree. They
Yeah.
can find everything on there. Um,
Yeah, let me find my links
yeah,
page. Yeah, I see a whole amount of but it's just Florida Bushman. Yeah, let me put that link in the comments right here so everyone has it. Check out Chris Hunt, the Florida Bushman, if you want to follow someone's journey who went through a lot as a young kid and channeled that into Smiles and Laughter Saves Lives. And by saving lives, you share that because, like, it saved your life, but how did it save your life? Real quick, and I'll let you go after
yeah,
this.
no, you're fine. So it saved my life. Making people smile. Making me smile, getting my family through it. But now, like I said, making other people smile and laugh and saving their lives, that makes me feel a whole lot better because we live in an evil world, and
Mm,
we need more laughter and smile in the world, and that's what I try to bring and
I like it.
try to push out positivity
I
in the
love
world.
it.
So
Well, everyone, check out Florida Bushman. Visit him there. He's got a ton of links. You can find him on all the major platforms. Keep following his journey and spread those smiles and laughter. Stick around, Chris. We'll be right back with you. Thank you so much for your time. So yes, everyone, I hope you learned a little bit about the journey of someone crushing it on their content creation journey. And he's doing a lot. He's got a lot of really good follows, but this is an OG. He's been doing this channel for over 10 years or nearly 10 years. And really, it's all about sending. I really like that. It's all about sending. Now, you can be on a journey to find your authentic voice, or you can just do something to make people laugh. So long as it makes you laugh, that can be an authentic thing. So please make sure you check out the Florida Bushman. Thank you so much, Chris. Next week on the HotSpark Show, we actually won't be having it. It is a leap year, so we're going to skip and leap. Next Thursday's show, we'll be back in March. For the first show of March, we got a lot of great guests for the month of March. Everyone, go visit Chris Hunt, Florida Bushman. Thank you so much for being here and joining us on the HotSpark Show, and we'll see you next time.